Oh, I can. Yes.
Happy Friday, last Friday of the decade.
Sounds crazy when you say it like that.
Doesn't it, though? Like, oh my gosh.
Crazy.
We made it. Not only did we make it to the end of the week, we made it to the end of the year and the decade.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
So on that note,
I'm pondering so many things.
I know. I'm trying to think. Where was I on the last Friday of the last decade?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So
trying to think back 2000. Or would it be 2009?
Yeah, the end of 2009.
Oh, I see.
End of 2009,
Okay.
turning into 2010. Oh, gosh.
I was in Amarillo, Texas.
I think I was still in Houston.
Yeah.
I was married, maybe just one kid. Ah, the simple days.
Simpler times.
Yes.
graduated in 09.
Yeah. With
You too?
both of us, yeah. We graduated together.
Yeah, I skipped a year ahead though, so I think I was in the class. Then I would have been in the class. I skipped.
Well, nobody's denying that.
I skipped ahead last minute, a year ahead. So I was supposed to be 2010, but I got out in 2009. So yeah, I joined you last minute.
Cut out.
That's right.
Got out
You
of
got your work
prison
release
busted out.
papers, and you're ready to go.
and started again at Mississippi State.
Oh,
Well,
that's
that was
right.
online. But yes, I was in Oregon. Wow, this is like a throwback.
See?
If you do it that way. Jiminy Christmas.
Who knew we were going to go down this rabbit hole? of
Yeah.
what to do?
Where were you 10 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Let us know. You can put in the comments section where you were. We'll read some of those here in just a little bit. But we have been talking this morning about something that's been rather controversial with this
You
Dutch
just
Brothers
don't
location.
see it very often.
No, because this location has been so successful that the lines are just around the block. This is at Camelback and Central. And you see there's just not that big of a parking lot for all these cars to be when they're in line at this Dutch Brothers location.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times what they end up doing is they trickle out into the street, and this is a very busy area, so people are trying to get to and from work, especially around rush hour, and
Yeah.
they're just trying to get out of their neighborhoods, quite frankly. So what's happening is this location has to close down.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, we don't know if the city stepped in or Dutch Brothers itself decided that, hey, maybe we should just find a new location. But we do know they're closing, and they're going to reopen a new location in a place that is far more convenient to some of this traffic that they're seeing.
Better traffic.
Do we have that location yet?
No, not yet. They haven't
Okay.
announced it. It's been...
Val was asking.
They're very
kind of
hush-hush
secret.
on this whole thing. Like you're saying, like we really don't know who pulled the plug on this. Like, was
Yeah.
it Dutch Bros finally saying, okay, we're being a bad corporate neighbor? Was it the city saying, you know what, we can't keep sending out cops to help you out off duty or whatever? So I don't know. We can't get the full story.
Well, it does seem like, too, if the city had to deploy extra officers out there every single morning, that's probably an issue.
Yeah.
Like, and, the city shouldn't have to pay for all this, which means we're the ones that are having to pay for it. And is that worth it? I mean, unless you use that location specifically, which I know you have,
Yes, I
then what's the point? Maybe they should be moving on. But it's just weird because they're so successful. You never hear of
You don't
somebody
see
being
it every day.
so successful that they have to close.
I know. Can you imagine? That place is just making a mint, rolling in the dough.
Wherever they go next, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and I spent, as I mentioned in our throwback, that I started in Medford, Oregon, and Oregon was the hub for Dutch Brothers.
Oh, okay.
And many stories with them, and they are dotted, I feel like, at every corner. So maybe the answer is you got to put more in, if they're that popular. And it's all about the location. They were always busy, but I never remember them getting that out of hand where you have all that congestion right there. They were always placed in a good spot. Of course, we're much larger, population than Medford, Oregon, and Grants Pass and those areas. But maybe it's just better placement when they do that. So hopefully they'll build a bigger, better one, more room for the line and
the parking. There's hardly any parking over there.
Yeah. Well, and it's drive-through only, right? So that's the
I see
deal
some
with
kids I always see
tables.
teenagers
There are
walk
tables?
up
Okay.
and sit after school and stuff. The kids, the young people.
So it's an interesting location, though, too, because it's a really good mix of, like, residential and business as well. So I can understand if you do live, like, in that neighborhood that's behind there.
Frustrating.
That would be kind of frustrating if you're just trying to get out in the morning and you end up behind, like, a line of people that aren't trying to go anywhere. They're just trying to, like, squeeze their way into this parking lot.
I would be broke because I'd have to go to Dutch Brothers literally on the way home and on the way out.
Right.
Do they still do the free drink on the birthday?
Yeah, I think
I
they
missed
do.
it this last year.
I believe
I feel
so.
like I just discovered this because we did not have this in Houston at all. So I just discovered it when I moved here, and I'm a huge overnight fan. I just love Dutch Bros. My kids love the cookies, and I like the drinks. Yeah.
And you were telling me that there's an online menu, like a secret menu as well.
So apparently there's like a secret menu because they have
that.
the posted menu, but if you go online, there are a bunch of different items that you can find. So you know how Starbucks sometimes has like a quiet menu?
Yeah.
They have like a little secret menu. You can find some interesting drinks.
Erin says they should relocate to Levine. She really would like one there near her. And then Lexa says that location was super dangerous. So many people, I think so many people were almost rear-ended there waiting for coffee. So I feel like Dutch Brothers needs their own traffic signal or something to help divert all of that. So maybe just location was.
And there's a lot of different factors at that particular intersection that are tough too. The light rail goes right by there, as well as there's been a lot of construction everywhere, but especially in that area over the last year or so, I feel like there's always like a lane closed somewhere.
And you got the buses coming. It's like it's just busy.
When you talk, and it's right on the corner. So you're talking about an intersection that includes. It's a major intersection to begin with, and then it also includes the light rail, and then it also includes people that are just stopped trying to get their coffee. It's kind of a dangerous situation. I understand why people would be upset that it's leaving, but I also understand why some people would be upset that it was there to begin with.
I wonder, like, how much money do you think they make?
Oh gosh,
a year at
how
that
do you how do you even estimate that? Peggy's actually frustrated with many, not just that location, and not just Dutch Brothers, but many coffee spots cause a lot of traffic jams, and people are just so zeroed in on getting their cup of coffee that they cut you off. There's traffic troubles, and so it's just not safe.
It's one of those products that a lot of people don't want to get out of their car to get to. Right. So it's. The drive-thru is used heavily, and I can certainly understand that.
I feel like Chick-fil-A's mastered the drive-thru. I love the Chick-fil-A drive-thru because they've got multiple people along the way. They're taking your payment. They're taking your order. They've got double lanes. They got a long turnaround. I feel like Chick-fil-A has kind of mastered it. If Dutch Bros could, because it is some tight corners when you're trying to turn around the building because it's such a small building. I feel like they've got to find some place that's maybe a better, double lane situation.
I mean, they've been there for 11 years, and a lot has changed. I mean, we can all agree that, like, probably 11 years ago, you look at that spot, and it might have seemed like a good idea at the time.
You don't know until you try it, I guess.
Yeah, and then things, with a lot of things. And then just over time, things happen. There's construction and the population boom and all that. But you mentioned Chick-fil-A. They really do have it right. And there's that one on Camelback and 16th Street, Chick-fil-A.
That's my spot.
That they actually claim to be the fastest drive-thru
I believe
in the country.
I believe it. I'm there quite regularly. And so I've always used the Chick-fil-A app because then, you can pull up. I will tell you, hands down, going through the drive-thru is faster than the app.
Yeah.
So I've waited longer for them to come out and bring the food than I have going through a drive-thru that looks terrible when you pull up.
Yeah.
But no, they're super fast.
It always
I totally
looks
believe
bad.
it.
And that location could be bad too, because it goes into the Target parking lot. Nobody in the Target parking lot is respectful at all, first of all.
We got to get to our steals and deals.
And it's also right on the corner as well of two very busy streets and intersection there. So it's a similar situation, I would think, but somehow they've got it figured out.
They got the headsets. They have minimum 3 people in those double lanes taking orders, and they process you on their little iPads. But yeah, it is super fast. Every time I do it on the app, I'm like, I should have just gone to the drive-thru.
You know, maybe the problem is Robert's thinking that the Dutch Bros employees talk too much. So they say that they're so chatty.
They
just
are
give me your
super
coffee
chatty.
and go. You know, move on with your day is what he says.
He was like, "How's your day going?" I'm like, "Better when I get my Dutch Bros coffee."
Yeah.
Every time.
Better when I'm out of this line.
But then remember, they have the smiley faces where you have to give them your tip, and they're so happy. They're literally grinning ear to ear at your window. I'm like, I have to put super happy. You gotta give them the better tip.
Well, you'd act like that too if, you know, half of your blood content was caffeine.
No.
Do you imagine? I hope they must give them free drinks when they show up
discounts.
to work.
They do seem genuinely happy, the employees.
Yeah.
And they are keeping the employees, you were saying,
Yes.
for this new secret location.
Because everything else aside, that would be the tragic part of this story. Is
A lot of
like
people had to lose
people
their
had to lose
jobs,
their
yeah.
jobs
Right.
because of this.
But thankfully.
But again, I don't know that we'll probably never know the crux of this issue and who was the entity that made the decision.
I feel like it's not the city, and I'll tell you why. Because normally when it's the city that's fighting with the business, then it becomes news, and then we start to hear about it, and the owners aren't happy. It's causing them a loss, so it must be something that they came to on their own. Because if you were being shut down by the city, I feel like we would hear about it.
Well, and we actually had a comment this morning as someone was upset that there was a cop there every morning kind of telling them to move along and all that sort of stuff. And I wonder if maybe the location itself, the managers there were getting frustrated with the complaints from customers about having to deal with the police officers.
They probably had to pay for the off-duty officers.
And I'm sure the city was making them pay for it as well. And so it probably just got to the point where I bet you they know where they're going. They probably spent their time, this is just my opinion, where they spent their time looking, here's our location, okay, now let's have this whole thing where we're going to close down and we'll do a grand reopening somewhere else.
They're not going to cut off their cash flow.
No.
Without
Come to
that
Lincoln
plan B.
and 51. Right there.
Yeah.
The northbound corner.
Yeah, but then there'll be a backup going up the 51 on-ramp. Then we'll really have trouble.
Vanessa will be reporting on that every day for
there.
traffic.
Every day it'll be green on the map there, except for that one little spot on the 51.
This map brought to you by Dutch Bros. Yes, I know.
But can we reiterate for Danny which location is closing again, please?
Yeah, so it's the Camelback and Central location that's in Phoenix there.
Yep.
Right there. It's literally right there on the corner.
The heart of the city. Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, so that's the one that's closing, and it'll be closing tomorrow. You can't get it anymore.
Pour one out.
Peggy's like, why doesn't everybody just make their coffee at home and
I hear you,
save
Peggy.
you the headaches? But she said, think about the bonus here. Everybody who went to that Dutch Bros every day, just think about how much more money you're going to have in your pocket.
It's true.
That's true.
I know. My husband makes the best coffee. He brews it right at home. And I think it's better than most coffee shops. But it's that late afternoon coffee after I pick up the kids that I like to get the little Dutch Bros on.
Okay.
Yeah, the little pick-me-up. It's something to look forward to, as you're driving to get the kids or whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, they get their treat. Mommy gets her treat. Everybody's happy. Yep.
A lot of times, too, with that afternoon coffee, I say to myself, I'll make it home or I'll get home. It doesn't taste as good, and also a lot of times when you get home, you have bags and you're doing whatever you're doing, and then the next thing you know, you've been home for a half hour, 45 minutes. You never made that coffee, and then you're like, well, whatever.
I forget it. Then it's too late.
I'm not going to do it. And it'll be up until midnight.
Oh gosh, I know that happened to me. I don't have coffee after 4 p.m. I learned that the hard way.
Learned that yesterday.
Yes, exactly. Should we?
She's still up.
I'm still up. Never went to bed. Should we do it in case you missed it?
Why not?
Please.
Everyone is looking ahead to New Year's Eve night, and today the iconic crystals that shine on the Times Square New Year's Ball were installed. The New Year's Ball will be covered with more than 2,600 Waterford crystal triangles. That ball will drop, and it has been seen as the annual celebration for more than 100 years in New York City.
Wow, nice. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
I usually do, but probably not this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we go to sleep now.
Oh no, I'm getting my second win on the dance floor, Ryan, at midnight.
Goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I tape it and I watch it the next day.
Oh, see, there you
when
go.
I'm
That's
in
the
recovery with my feet up.
secret. On the couch in your robe.
Totally. Have you seen me? Did you have a cam on my living room?
No,
Yes.
no. Let's not start spreading that rumor or anything. I don't think your husband will be happy to know that I've got a camera in your living room.
Good deal. I've not been home in a New Year's. I cannot remember the last time. I literally can't. Because we have like a New Year's group that we'd always get together with. This is actually the first year we're traveling New Year's Day, so I'm going to be home. 6 a.m. flight.
Oh, goodness.
I know. So I'm not
Just
going to be
stay
on
up.
the dance floor
You
this
can have
year.
your coffee after
Might just
4.
be in the living room by myself.
Raise the roof.
We'll see. But
Well,
yeah.
I just found out in a programming note, we actually, today in AZ is not running on New Year's Day morning. So maybe I will stay up this
Cut the
time.
rug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it. You can be the baby.
I'm off.
I say all this, and then at 11:15, I'll be on the couch sleeping. Wake me up.
I can't even remember the last time I stayed up till midnight either because, I'd have to work or whatever. But yeah, I don't have to this year. But my big thing is not for the bulb to drop or whatever. It's for the doors to open at Dillard's because that's when they do the best sale of the year on January 1st. And they open a little bit earlier.
Oh,
and then
you got to get up early.
Yeah, I usually drag Vanessa along. Hey, yeah. Oh, you're going to be fine. I say you got to come with me and get some other friends with me.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
For steals and deals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to, even getting there an hour early, you're way back in the line.
Oh my gosh,
it's a big
that's
deal.
crazy.
Big deal. Yes. And let's see here. I just wanted to follow up here. Veronica was asking if it's going to be open tomorrow because tomorrow's the parade, the Dutch Bros.
Oh, the Dutch Brothers?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, I believe tomorrow is the last day. So
Okay, so maybe
They'll be open
parade and
tomorrow.
then they're out.
And then get your last cup of joe from that location.
Yeah. Well, what is today's date?
Oh my goodness, I don't
27th.
even know.
It's the 27th. Yeah, they're
Okay.
open tomorrow. The 28th is the last day. So that makes sense. They probably realized that there was going to be a big parade.
Got to get one last blast in.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl parade. It's going to be a big day
Yeah.
for college football.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The whole nation really paying attention to what's going on in this game.
The Buckeyes are going to be here like, what's up? Are we still in Ohio? It's cold outside.
I know.
Well,
right?
is it like we saw? You said earlier that it was warmer in New York City than it was in Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, Buffalo, the one that's notorious for snow
Yeah.
and the coldest temperatures this time of year. Yeah, they're warmer than us today. Many locations are up to 25 degrees above average. Well, if you think about it, we're dragging down the jet stream with our winter storm. What goes down must come up on the other end. So usually when you have one extreme on one end, you have the other extreme on the other. So they're getting in on all the, bragging rights, weather.
must be loving that.
Yeah. Rubbing in our face. And then, we're getting in on that colder weather.
But it'll change again, right?
course,
And then
there's always ebb and
we'll
flow.
get warmer and they'll get colder.
And then we'll go,
Take that.
neener.
Exactly.
all the
longest
way
stint.
through January, February, and March.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll have our day in the sun.
We do.
Or days.
Get lucky, or days.
Or months.
All right, let's do our fresh squeezed juice, shall we? So Kylie Jenner, she's getting slammed on social media for buying her 1-year-old daughter, Stormy, a diamond ring for Christmas. Oh my gosh. So this video on Kylie's Instagram has since been deleted, but celebrity news outlet Shade Room, can we call that a news outlet, managed to get a screen grab of Stormy's hand with the extravagant gift. Immediately following the post, criticism on social media started flowing, with many people saying the over-the-top present was ridiculous. Did you see also, I guess, Kris Jenner got Stormy, same kid, right? Like a 2-story playhouse for Christmas as well. That's bigger than like most people's regular house.
Really?
My
It was
goodness.
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have that much money, like
What are you
you
gonna do?
can't take it with you. So, I could see how that would be spoiling the kid, but
They're
kid's
right.
probably
They're
already
different
pretty
world.
spoiled.
Their child.
Right, they can do whatever
Their
they
money.
want. I'm not going to tell you how to parent.
We support them.
I know,
So many
right?
fans watch their show, and so.
Yeah, have you ever bought the Kylie makeup? If so, you bought that ring. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Disobeyed. Oh my gosh.
At least that's something that she could have for her entire life. You just size it up or whatever if her fingers
Yeah,
get larger, or
that's
put it
true.
on your pinky.
Make a ring, a necklace out of it.
It's like an heirloom piece that she could have forever. So we'll get it that way, I guess.
I don't know why people get so upset over these things. Like, it's not really directly
cares?
affecting
We
us.
spend
Yeah.
way too much time parenting other people's kids.
I know. I'm still
Just
trying to
parent
just
your
get
own.
my own situated. That's a daily chore.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Especially if we're traveling today. You know how that is. It's like
That's why
it's
you're
crazy.
at Dutch Bros so much.
That is. That's why I am a Dutch Bros. I gotta just give them a
fuel.
lot of sugar, just get through the ride home.
All right.
All right.
Should we call it a
been
day
fun.
on this Friday and get to the weekend faster?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll see you in 2020.
Yes.
We have to say it like Barbara Walters for at least the first half of the year.
Have a great weekend.